Alright, so let's see what's going on.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Indianapolis. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 20. A defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Gotta get my shit straight.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There's absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Taylor. Trying to run inside, but nothing.
All right. Let me get that pick.
Let
me get that pick. So I'm going man-to-man. It's on. Let's try. It's on.
Gotta see that. Gotta find a way to haul on to something a little more advantageous.
Trouble elsewhere on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Richardson looking to throw this. Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man to play. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the
man-to-man, my bad.
Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards.
What happened again?
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Something taken from me.
Richardson looking to throw. Throwing over, and it's Taylor on the out route that completes it.
Bro, it's still like a flop.
7 now to work with a 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. The completion on 1st didn't get much. Another run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Here's a pick.
He looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet.
All right, what you gonna do? 4th and 6. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd
You know
down.
what?
That was
Under
not
pressure.
easy to hold on to. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles, 79 Broncos, trap 60, trap 60. Ready?
They'll go for it. Here's Richardson.
He caught it, for real. He caught that. That's crazy.
Sets him up with this. 1st and 10 at the 40.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Less than a minute to go here in the scoreless first quarter to this point.
First down.
60 Eagles.
First
60
and 10
Eagles.
at the 21-yard line.
And Richardson looks to throw once more. And that is incomplete.
That's crazy.
Second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Here's Richardson to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Colts. Jonathan Taylor from 6 yards away. And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
That was the bullshit.
Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
To the 20-yard line as he's down.
That looked crazy, I know, but I know up there.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Neville Gallimore showing off a bit on that nice stop. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
See what happens here.
Mahomes going to throw. He'll get this complete to Murray. So the completion good for 7 there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver and
Way back
you
there.
can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for Colts TD. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just